Before we begin, a brief content warning. This episode contains references to violence against children and sexual abuse. Some of the details may be distressing for certain listeners. Please take care of yourself. In this episode, we're going 26 years back in time. We're in Kristiansand, a medium-sized Norwegian coastal town. It's spring. The year is 2000. So far, May has been unusually mild, but over the past few days, temperatures have dropped noticeably and the sunny skies have given way to clouds. On this particular day, the 19th of May, the temperature doesn't rise above 12 degrees Celsius. Our destination is Baneheia. Baneheia is a forested hill area, a recreational area, just outside the center of the city. The area, which once supplied water to the city's industry, is now made up of walking trails, and the old dams have been turned into popular swimming spots. Just a few days earlier, Baneheia was packed with people out for walks or swimming in the warm weather, but the sudden change in temperature is clearly visible. Today, the place is almost deserted. A few people here and there, but nothing like the crowds from earlier in the week. Two of the people heading up there this evening are 8-year-old Stine Sofie Sørstrønen and 10-year-old Lina Sløgedal Paulsen. From here on, I'll refer to them as Sophie and Lina, as that's easier. The girls are going up to the jetty at the third stamp to swim. They don't plan to stay long. It's already 6:30. And they're hoping to go roller skating later when they're back home. The girls come from separated families and are spending the weekend with their fathers in Grim, which is the name of the neighborhood their fathers live in. Lina is staying the night at Sophie's, as her father is going away to a cabin. The two girls are close friends. Sophie looks up to Lina, who's 2 years older, and she especially enjoys visiting her dad because it means she gets to spend time with her friend. They often play together when they're both there. When the girls ask if they can go for a swim, Sophie's father says yes. The neighborhood, Baneheia, and the city in general are seen as safe places for children to explore on their own. The girls are also confident swimmers, so there's no reason to worry. He doesn't think much of it. They pack swimsuits, towels, and a bottle of fizzy drink in a bag and head out to the water. On the way, they pass a woman out for a walk. Soon after they arrive at the swimming spot, 2 older boys show up. What we know now is that these two were university students who had just finished a workout and had come to cool off with a quick dip. And what we also know now, though no one knew it then, is that these two young men would be the last to see the girls alive. Because this evening, which was meant to be filled with fun play and a sleepover, would turn out to be anything but that. As the minutes pass and the girls still haven't come home, Sophie's father starts to feel a bit uneasy. They were only meant to go for a quick swim, and they had other plans for the evening too, so it seems strange that they've been gone for this long. By the time it's nearing 7:45, and they've been out for well over an hour, he decides to go out and look for them. He's not overly worried. He just assumes they might have bumped into someone or come across something interesting and lost track of time. He walks the usual route to the swimming spot, but doesn't see them along the way. When he arrives, the jetty is empty, not a single person in sight. He figures they must have taken a different route home and that they've missed each other, so he heads back to check. But the girls aren't at home either. Now he starts to feel a bit more concerned. He assumes there's somewhere nearby, maybe on one of the other paths, so he jumps on his bike and sets off again. He cycles around, searching for hours. With every road he travels down without seeing a trace of them, with every minute that passes without them showing up at home, his worry grows. He lets the other parents know that he can't find the girls and eventually contacts the police to report them missing. When he makes the call, it's 10 at night. It's dark now, and the air is getting colder. The girls were dressed for a short swim, and the temperature is expected to drop to 4 degrees Celsius during the night. Lena's father returns from his trip and joins the search. By now, a deeper fear is starting to take hold. What if the girls have gotten lost in the woods up there? What if they're stuck somewhere or hurt and need help? Still, no one is imagining just how brutal reality could be. The parents and the police assume the girls have simply gone off course. And even though the parents are worried, their concern is fueled by a hope of finding their daughters safe and sound. No one is thinking yet that something criminal might have happened. When the police arrive, they ask the parents to stay away from the woodlands for the night. The plan is to search the area using dogs, and they don't want the dogs to be distracted by familiar scents from the families. The search continues throughout the night, but neither the girls nor any trace of them is found. By the time the clock reaches 5 on Saturday morning, and the girls have been gone for an entire night, the fathers can no longer sit and wait. Along with Sophie's 12-year-old brother, who is also staying with his dad for the weekend, they head out to join the search. They actually find something, a fizzy drink bottle, the same kind the girls had taken with them the evening before. It's found not far from the swimming spot. They believe there's a good chance it belonged to the girls, so they hand it over to the police. As Saturday unfolds, a large-scale search operation is launched. The police set up a command post in the area, and Red Cross teams from across the region are brought in. They are divided into search groups, combing the surrounding wooden areas. They move in line, shoulder to shoulder with 3-meter gaps, scanning the ground carefully. Time passes. By the time the clock reaches 4:30, there are still no new signs of the girls. No clues, nothing to explain what might have happened. News that the girls are missing reaches the media. The parents begin calling around, asking friends and neighbors if they've seen the girls or if they have any idea where they might be, but no one has. The news spread quickly. The entire city is following the case. It's as if the whole town is holding its breath, as if everything is on pause, because 2 young girls are missing and no one knows where they are or what happened to them. Even more hours pass. The longer the girls are gone, the darker the thoughts become. With every hour, the chances of finding them safe and sound grow smaller. The parents are growing more and more desperate. Where are the girls? And why isn't anyone finding them? Saturday passes with no further signs. It's now Sunday. 2 full days have passed since the girls disappeared. If they had gotten lost, surely they would have been found by now. The Home Guard, a part-time military force of local citizens, kind of similar to the Army Reserve, is called in to assist the search, contributing 250 men. The fear that the girls might be dead is beginning to take hold, and divers are brought in to search the stamp ponds for bodies. Could they have drowned? Then, suddenly, something happens. Something that will turn the entire search operation on its head. One of the volunteers searching the area spots a piece of clothing wedged into a crevice by one of the dams and reports it to the command center. Another volunteer, a woman from the Red Cross, joins him to inspect the find. On her way, she picks up a used plastic bag from the divers' base, just in case they need something to carry the clothing in. The dam in question is part of the second stamp. When they get there and take a closer look, they see that the fabric is stained with blood. They pull it out. Among the items is a silver sandal. It's small, clearly a child's shoe. They also find a towel with a dolphin print. Everything is bloody. They report the discovery, place the items in the bag and take them back to the command center. When they return to the tent, one of the girls' mothers is there. She sees the items and is immediately distraught. She recognizes the towel. It belongs to the girls. The dolphin is unmistakable. And now, the full horror of the situation begins to set in. The girls didn't get lost. They weren't in an accident. They were victims of a crime. Whoever had the clothes had tried to hide them, and based on the amount of blood, a new theory begins to take shape. The girls must have been murdered. They are no longer searching for 2 lost girls. They are now looking for 2 dead children, victims in a murder case. From this point on, I'll be referring to the girls as the younger girl and the older girl. Although I've already mentioned their names, I'm making this change because the details that follow are brutal and disturbing. I want the girls to be remembered as the lively, loved, and joyful children they were, not simply as victims. From here, the story shifts focus from the girls and their families to the case itself, the suspects, the witnesses, and the investigation. I want to stress that what these girls and their families went through is unimaginable. This case is part of their story, but it's not their whole story. There was so much more. I encourage everyone to visit the website for Sophie's Foundation, set up by Sophie's mother, Ada Sophie, together with a woman named Bergset. The foundation works to prevent violence and abuse against children and to strengthen the legal rights of those who have been affected. Even though the foundation is based in Norway and primarily operates there, the issues they address deserve global attention. On the website, you can learn more about who they are, the work they do, who Sophie was, and how you can support them. The website is in Norwegian, but I still recommend you to visit the website and just use a translator. I'll leave the link in the description of this episode. But now, let's return to the case. Clothing belonging to the girls has now been found hidden by a dam, stained with blood. One of the mothers has identified the towel. Reality sets in like a grey fog as the families and the search teams come to terms with what this means. At 4:30, the police radio the home guard and report the find. They're instructed to go to the site, secure the area and wait for investigators to arrive. One of them, the leader of the home guard unit, finds it increasingly difficult to just stand and wait. He begins walking around the surrounding area. A short distance away, he notices several cut branches. Something about them looks out of place. He moves closer. There, he sees a pile of branches and begins lifting a few of them. And what he sees is something so horrific, it's hard to imagine. What he finds are both of the girls dead. The time has just passed 8:30 in the evening when he radios in the discovery to the police. News of the discovery spreads quickly. The girls have been found, and they're dead. Not just dead, they're murdered. The city, which has been holding its breath, is now in shock. Headlines read, "What sick monster could do this?" A city that had always felt safe no longer does. People in the local community are deeply affected. Baneheia, once a point of pride for the city, will from this day on and for a long time to come, even up until today, become a symbol of fear and sorrow. Residents suddenly hesitate to let their children out alone. And it doesn't take long before more details emerge. The girls weren't only killed, but also sexually assaulted. Someone has raped and murdered 2 young girls. Who could do something like that? With one or more perpetrators still at large, parents across the city now walk with their hearts in their throats. There's an unease in the air, as if people are constantly looking over their shoulders, terrified that whoever did this might strike again. The city asks, are our children safe? Worst of all, of course, is what the families are going through. Parents who have lost what is dearest to them in the most brutal way imaginable. Grief, desperation, and the need for answers. Answers about what happened and who is responsible. The police wait for crime scene investigators from Kripos, Norway's National Criminal Investigations Unit, to arrive. But in the meantime, they're faced with a problem. What if it rains? With an outdoor crime scene, collecting and preserving evidence is already challenging, and if it rains, they risk losing critical evidence. They need a quick solution. They end up covering the girls and the surrounding area with a tarpaulin, just to protect the scene until Kripo arrives. But it's Sunday. Shops are closed. The police don't have unused tarpaulins on hand, so the one they end up using is a private tarpaulin from one of the officers' garages. One that he's used multiple times before. The thinking is simple. Anything is better than letting the rain wash away the evidence. The crime scene is just beyond the place where the girls were found. We know this because the ground in that area is also covered in blood, a lot of it. And while outdoor crime scenes can be hard to protect, they're also nearly impossible for perpetrators to fully clean up. That too will help the investigation gain momentum. Both the site where the crimes occurred and the location where the girls were found are brutal. Everything is covered in blood. The girls are wearing each other's clothes, which is noticeable as they're not the same size. They've been there for 2 days. They're cold, lifeless. It's a disturbing sight, and the story behind it horrific. Kripo arrives to support the local police. The crime scene examination will become the foundation for the entire case. The girls are transported out of the woods and taken for autopsy. The forest floor is also removed in sections. Forensic teams sift through the soil with tweezers, searching for hairs, fibers, and other clues. The autopsy reveals the horrifying core of the case. Both girls had been killed with a knife, and both had been sexually assaulted. The older girl had been stabbed 3 times, the younger one only once. The police searched the area for the murder weapon, as it's common for perpetrators to hide it nearby. They find nothing. When they realize they should check the local rubbish bins, it's already too late. They've been emptied. They do get access to the collected waste from the area, and in it, they find the bag that the girls had brought with them. But the waste wasn't labeled. They don't know which bin the bag came from. They assume it was thrown away by the perpetrator, but they're too late to trace exactly where it came from. Weeks pass, then months. No one is arrested. The families get no answers. The children of the city don't feel safe. They don't play outside alone anymore. People are scared. The city still silent. Baneheia empty. The place carries the weight of what happened there. One or more perpetrators are likely still walking free. The police choose to withhold information, which puts pressure on the investigation and leads to widespread speculation. They investigate a known hangout place for drug users nearby. They also look into patients from a local psychiatric hospital. Meanwhile, the media pushes hard, running headlines speculating about a feared serial killer, especially after 2 other people were shot and killed in the city just months after the girls were murdered. Meanwhile, the media pushes hard, running headlines speculating about a feared serial killer, especially after 2 other people are shot and killed in the city just months after the girls were murdered. Meanwhile, the media pushes hard, running headlines speculating about a feared serial killer, especially after 2 other people are shot and killed in the city just months after the girls were murdered. The pressure to make an arrest is mounting, but the police are waiting for strong enough evidence. In August, they announced that a hair has been found, one they hope might link the perpetrator to the crime scene. It's been sent off for testing, and they believe it likely belongs to the killer. It's been nearly 4 months since the girls were murdered, and no one has been arrested. But then